how's it going, everyone? Welcome back. I decided this is kind of a weird one, but I'm going to look at the difficulty rating that For Honor gives their characters. So these are all of the For Honor rankings. For some reason, Black Prior is the only one with easy to medium. I'm not really sure why. He's the one character that gets something like that. Because I think it could fall with some characters, right? Some of them could feel that way. So, I just wanted to do my opinion on where all of these land, and if I agree or not with some of them. So, for starters, I think Shigoki is definitely an easy, but we'll go left to right. How about that? That makes more sense, right? Just go down the list and look for ones that don't make a whole lot of sense. Jormungandr, I think's easy. He doesn't have a ton of moves. It's pretty easy to use. And I'm not sure how they define their difficulty, really. If is the character hard to use? Is it hard to learn the character? Is the move list difficult to remember? Something like that. But regardless, I don't think Jormungandr has a lot going on. I mean, comparative him to Shigoki, I don't think either of them have a ton of moves going on. And you could say Tiandi at least has deflect, so he would be a little bit harder than Yorm. I don't know why they would put Yorm in medium difficulty or anything like that, so that's why I'm throwing him on up there. Zanhu is very easy to learn and easy to use. He just falls flat because he doesn't have a lot of moves. And they're not as strong. I mean, they are strong. You got the unblockable on both directions, and you have the undodgeable. But he's not as strong as like these two with the amount of armor and damage output that they can deal. So I feel like he's more easy to medium. He's easy to learn, hard to implement correctly. Raider makes sense and easy. He's easy to use. He can be hard to play if your opponent knows how to be defensive. But with that being said, he is easier to play. He can just be hard against better opponents. Kensei has a lot of moves. A lot of soft feints. He's easy to get wins with. He's very easy to use. He's got armor, unblockable. He's got it all. So, in my opinion, yeah, he is easy, but in terms of mastering and learning everything he can do and his like deflects and types of stuff, it's not an actual deflect, but you can dodge into the move. I feel like he'd fit more in here, and the reason I'm doing that is Black Prior doesn't have a ton of moves. He doesn't have a ton of really anything. I find everything he does to be extremely easy, unless you're trying to like flip someone with a light attack. But even then, there are plenty of setups where you can do something into a setup and then flip someone. So I don't find that to be but there are setups where you can flip someone. I don't find that particularly hard to understand or deal with personally. So I think he fits. He's very easy, but if you're trying to get a whole lot of flips, he could be medium. So it's a good middle ground for him. Same kind of thing goes for Gladiator. Gladiator's easy to use. He has a whole lot of good setups. He's got good out of stamina punishment. Not as good as Yorm's, but that's just because Yorm's, if he knocks you out, he gets a ton of damage, whereas Gladiator, you can put them into a 50-50 situation where you can get a lot of damage, but if they guess right, they're out of it. Yorm, it's guaranteed. They're taking it. So Gladiator, I feel like, is easy. Unless you're trying to go for deflex, in which case he could be easy mid. But even then, if you're an experienced... And he has the reflex guard. But even then, if you're an experienced player, you shouldn't have a ton of difficulty using him. If you're brand new to the game, yes, his attacks are very linear. They don't have like a slashing motion, so you don't catch people dodging as easily. His heavies can be reasonably slow, but he's easy to learn. I feel like he's another one that should have been in the easy to medium tier. Warden makes sense. He's easy to play. He's relatively good in 4v4s. He's not amazing, but he is easy to play. 50-50, just 50-50 just 50-50. Just keep 50-50ing people. He doesn't have a ton of moves to learn. The only difficult part comes with the fact that only his top light is a crushing counter, where you have other characters that have multiple directions where they can get a crushing counter from almost all directions. So, or I guess this guy does it from all, you do it from all, you do it from all, you do it from all. Sorry, I feel like I'm forgetting someone, but no, I don't know. But regardless, other character, Shaolin can do it from all, but he has to be in a stance to do it. Alright, Griffin deserves easy. You can just kind of mash buttons and it'll work. War Mommy, exact same as Warden. I feel like they're basically the same fucking character. I feel like Griffin is one of the easiest characters in the game to use, in my opinion. I feel like Shigoki's probably the second in terms of difficulty. When it comes to ease of use, you can just pick up Griffin, you can pick up Shigoki as a brand new player. My wife hadn't played any For Honor and was able to pick up Shigoki and beat level 1, 2, and 3 bots, so I feel like it's safe to say they both are up there. Warden's easy to use, hard to master, but I'm going to leave him in easy because he is easy to use. It just takes time and getting used to the other opponents. Warmonger's the exact same. She doesn't have a crushing counter, but her lights don't bounce on block, and she also has armor on her finishing heavy. She has the dodge unblockable, which isn't the best unblockable. Warden definitely has way better unblockables now. Before, I would have put him in easy and medium because you at least had to learn how to mix up your opponent and read them, and now it's just, you know, throw some unblockable heavies and fucking mix them up all day long, so it's not nearly as hard as it used to be. War Mommy has the same punch style. She's got the dodge. She has the dodge forward that's undodgeable, that she can feint. And again, another good move. It's very bad against Warden, surprisingly, because if she does it, he can throw a top light, and assuming she knows he'll throw the top light, she can feint it at an early start and then go for a light parry. But if she lets it fly, she gets crushing countered, or she mistimes it and now he gets a light attack and starts his offense. So Warden actually does really well against Warmonger. He did better when he could back dodge away from her, because he could back dodge away from some of her punch mix-ups and stuff like that, but yeah, definitely think they both belong up there together. Personally, I think Warden's easier to use definitely now than Warmonger. Raider I'm going to leave below both of them for the sole fact that he does have a hard time opening up people that are very good at reactions. So he can be a little more difficult. Jormungandr I think is better than both of these. He's got the out of stamina punishes, he's got unblockable armor, and he has the undodgeable. And if once he knocks you out of stamina, knocks you to the ground, dodge to the side, light, heavy, knocks him right back down for the slam. I mean, he gets a ton of damage. He's very easy to use. He does have his faults, but for the most part, he is pretty easy to use. Let's start going through some of these. I agree with where these currently are after changing them, obviously. PK being in medium, I actually agree wholeheartedly now. With her update, you can say once she gets bleeding, it's just a 50-50, 50-50, 50-50 machine. Yes. But she does have some weaknesses. Like, if she's going to soft feint into a light, it's always going to be a top light. She can't soft feint into any direction like some other characters. If she's going for the unblockable heavy, you can put it in the direction, like left or right. You know if she soft feints, it's going to either be a guard break or a top light, and if you block the top light, it's your turn. If you push her off, you reset neutral. Or if you can tell she's gonna let the heavy fly because you've been watching and she's letting it go and it's past the point of soft feinting, you can parry it. Obviously that's harder said than done, admittedly, but I do find her, at least you have to know some things. Her dodge attacks are harder to use than some of the other characters, Tiandi particularly. Her deflect's okay. I think she's fine here for now. Conqueror, I'd say, is probably around medium, just because you can technically bash spam someone to death. If you're in the lower tiers of players, you can kind of just light spam them to death as well. He has a whole lot of good defense. He's got what do you call it? All guard. He's got all kinds of stuff going for him. Yes, he's harder to learn. You have to get used to not having a normal feint button because you have to go into all guard to feint. But for the most part, I don't think he's actually a hard character to learn. He obviously could be harder to master and implement, but in one of my recent conch videos, I kind of just played him. I hadn't played him in almost a year, and I did perfectly fine, and I had plenty of good reads, good dodge attacks, good punishes. I was just, I don't know, I felt like a wall that people couldn't quite move. Going on to Warlord. Warlord has setups. He's got all kinds of interesting things he can do. He's got crushing counters from all directions. He has armored, heavy attacks. But he's extremely easy to learn. He's got a ton of health. He just has the headbutt as his unblockable. I don't think he's medium. I'd actually put him in easy, personally. I think he's very easy to learn, very easy to use. He doesn't have a whole lot of stuff that's situational other than his all guard, but I don't think he's very difficult to use. He's got a parry punish and all kinds of other stuff. I find him easy to just pick up and use. Shaman, we'll just say easy to mid. Yes, she's very easy. She's very good. But you can say she has pieces of medium difficulty for the fact that she has the deflect. I don't know. I want to put her in easy, but there is a reasonable amount you have to learn if you're going to main her. I mean, not really. She's easy. Alright, my opinion, all characters should be in easy because I don't find any of them hard to learn. But from a new player coming into For Honor, I feel like she's easy to mid. She's not mid. You can definitely win with her pretty easily. But in terms of learning the entire character, I feel like she'd probably be easy to mid. Same goes with Kensei. He's got a lot that someone new to the series would have to, or new to the game would have to learn, but they're still going to be winning while learning. It's easy. Hitokiri, I feel like, is just easy. She's just an easy. She's got the same kind of 50-50 mix-up. She has armor on her heavies. I don't think she really has a whole lot that you need to learn. She's kind of like, I don't know, she's kind of like them, where if she lands except the difference is if she lands the normal kick, she gets a heavy. If she does the charged kick, she gets a light. But she has a never-ending, heavy, light, heavy, light, heavy, light. So I think she's easy. Her feats make her easy. She's an easy character to learn and an easy character to play. Aramusha, in theory, his move list would put him up here, but in reality, using him puts him down here. He's super slow. I know he's getting a buff here pretty soon, but right now he's super slow. His heavies are very bad. His soft feints are really the only reasonable place you can get damage, and if someone knows the normal light attack thing, you have to use the soft feints because you can't do, left, up, right, or right, up, right. They're always going to parry that top one. You can't use that correctly. You're going to have to do light, heavy, and then put a light somewhere else, and then heavy, put a light somewhere else. And if they know you're doing that, they can interrupt you. So he's not great right now. His all guard is okay, but if they're fast enough, they can block the top heavy, which I feel like should be guaranteed. If you got him near a wall, yeah, he can kick him. You get a heavy. Big whoop. He just doesn't have a lot going on. He's slow, weak, and he only has the one armor attack, which is a dodge forward, which is easy to parry. And if it's Warden or someone with a crushing counter, you're just going to get smacked into the ground for using it. I find him to be reasonably hard to play. Nusha, yeah, we'll just put her in medium. She's got the light spam for console. She's got the traps, which annoy people. She's got a trap and all of her heavies in her zone. So I mean, she's her deflect is the only annoying thing. If you deflect, it's not guaranteed, which is just asinine in my opinion. But I don't find her any harder to use than Peacekeeper, really. So I feel like, other than the deflect thing, she's reasonably easy to use on console. I don't know if she's hard to use on PC, but I know some people have been using her, claiming she's underrated. So I'll just leave her in medium, since when I play her, I don't seem to have any trouble, but I don't really play against a whole lot of them that can get me with a trap, so we'll put her in medium. Centurion, I don't know why he's in hard. I really don't. He's got the same kind of mix-ups here, except he has a kick that he can do. At the wall, yeah, you got your mix-up game, because you can pin someone with the charged heavy at the wall, and then what are you going to do next? You're going to go for a normal punch, you're going to go for a full charge punch, you're going to go for a punch into soft feint, because obviously he has the heavy attacks that go into soft feints, which in my opinion makes him a little bit harder to master than Warden, but not a ton. I feel like he should probably just be medium or easy medium. I'm not really sure which one I'd want to put him in. He has soft feints, he has the unblockables, he has the kicks. Most people know how to play him at this point, and if you're new to the game, he's not very hard. He's got a lower health pool, but it doesn't really matter. He's got a parry punish. He can feint his zone now. He can start his mix-ups from a light. He can start his mix-ups from his heavies. You got the forward kick, which you shouldn't use too often, but you know, it works. Only thing I can think of is sometimes he has range issues, but they've fixed most of his range problems within reason. I feel like he's easy to medium, if we're being honest. Law Daddy, I'm just easy to medium. He's a parry god. If you parry a light, you get a guaranteed heavy. You parry anything else, you get a guaranteed shove. If there's a wall nearby, you get a guaranteed heavy because you shoved them into the... You get a guaranteed impale, my bad, which will take them to the wall. Or you get the light attack, which stuns them and allows you to get some offense going. His offense does have lackluster qualities to it, but for the most part, he's pretty good. He's got a lot of health. He's got the unblockable, which he can use to bait people out. If he lands a heavy, he gets to go into a shove mix-up. It's not much of a mix-up because it's reactable. But if you're facing an opponent that hasn't reacted to it, it's a guaranteed light. So I don't find him particularly difficult to use. Don't forget, if you land the unblockable heavy up top, you're guaranteed a light attack immediately after that smacks him in the face. I think it only does like 5 damage or something like that, unless they've lowered it. I don't know. But I don't think he's hard. I've played him quite a bit. When I saw he was hard, I thought, oh, I gotta play him. You know, they say he's hard to use. He's really not. He's good. He's very good. Berserker, medium. If you feint any of your heavies, the next move you do is armored. So, you know, do those. His zone, you can let it completely fly, or you can go into a light attack at the end. You can, you know, kind of do whatever you want with it. He has a backwards zone attack, which isn't super useful. He does good damage. He has good unblockable mix-ups that he can do, mostly from the top, but if he gets something going and he gets like 3 heavies in a row where they guessed wrong and thought he was going to do a light, and he gets heavy, 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 and then he can go for that unblockable heavy. It's a good mix-up. He does very good damage. He's got good dodge moves. He obviously has plenty of armor for getting big damage off. His deflect gives him a guaranteed guard break, which is very good, because that guarantees a heavy, or if you deflect into someone, you can throw them into the wall, get a heavy, and then start another mix-up game. And of course, if you go for a heavy attack, you can actually dodge out of that heavy attack. Same thing goes for Peacekeeper, whereas I've seen, you know, very good Berserker players start doing their mix-ups, they're feinting, they're doing all this stuff, got the armor, they'll go for a heavy, they know the opponent's going to go for an attack, and then they deflect the attack and get a guaranteed heavy. He's got a lot going on, but in terms of just learning him, you don't have to do the fancy stuff where it's like heavy and then get the deflect. You know, there are other characters that are up here that can do that, like PK. But he's got tons of armor, very strong character. I don't know if I can say he's the strongest assassin, but he's a very strong assassin. He's very good. Highlander, I feel like, deserves to be in hard if it was the old him. Now you can kind of just light, heavy because of the animation. He has crush encounters on all sides. He's got the... I feel like in terms of use, you can say that he's hard to learn, but the new version of him has to be in mid. He used to be hard because his lights were slow and you had to get some good reads and stuff like that, but now I don't know, he's pretty easy to start things up with, and his kick-throw mix-up gets a lot of people. His taunt game and then, you know, feinting his offensive stance into parries or crush encounters. I feel like he's medium in difficulty to learn. If you can learn just his basic move list, you'll do fine. Valkyrie, easy mid. She doesn't have a ton of moves right now. She's difficult to use on occasion, but she has good moves, good dodge. She's similar to Gladiator in her dodge moves. She has a dodge back into all guard, which doesn't really guarantee you anything. It just means you won't get hit and you can bash them. Let's see what else. She has a sweep, which can be very difficult and it's very risky to use. She has crush encounters on all sides. Her heavies have long sweeping. Her zone is long sweeping. She can do a heavy into a soft feint bash that gets you a light, similar to Conk. All in all, she's very good. Underrated, not very hard to learn. If you can, we'll put her here. If you can learn Conk, you can learn her. Conk has like an extra step or two. She also has a deflect with a shoulder pin. I think she's just good. She's medium to learn in terms of difficulty. We'll just put her there. I find her easy to mid, but most of these characters could be an easy to mid, but I think she's harder to learn and play than Centurion, I guess. No, I'm just putting her up here. I feel like she's not any harder than any of these, although I feel like PK... I don't know. I don't know where I want to put everyone here. Like, I feel like Kensei is definitely the closest to easy and medium. Blackbriar should be up there. Centurion should be up here. Lawbringer should be up here. You can say he's mixed match wherever, right there. I think she's probably easier to use than Zanhu if you're making the correct reads. Orochi, we've seen a ton of Orochis. Most of them will use light spam. He's got the deflect. He has the top unblockable. He's got the dash back into a heavy that comes from any direction. I don't think he's actually hard to play like they say. I'd put him easy, mid. People of easy ratings can use him. People of medium and hard and very hard can use him. I made very hard before I knew that there were no very hards, but we're going to have one honorable mention in very hard. Shinobi's not hard to learn, but he's very hard to implement currently after his nerfs. Yes, you can just light spam people to death and zone feint, light, zone feint, guard break, but... Or you can play him the way I play him when you guys ask me, where I just stay away. They go for, you know, starting offense, so they go to dash in at me, and I dodge away, kick them, go for the heavy, and then I feint into maybe another heavy or a light or something, but he doesn't have a whole lot of options currently. Nobushi used to be hard. Now she's probably mid to easy. She's very easy to use right now. She's got good light. She's got the kick that was sped up. She's got the undodgeable heavy. She does good damage once they're bleeding. She has a whole lot of long reaching attacks. She's got the Viper dash. She's got the dodge back like an all guard, but it'll dodge whatever move they go for. She's very good. Medium to learn. She's not hard to learn. Not very hard to implement currently right now either. She's kind of like Berserker, where they're both not super hard to learn or hard to implement, but they do require a little bit more learning than some of these characters. Like, Kensei has the same amount to learn, but you're going to get wins with him easier than you will Nobushi while you're learning. JJ, no idea why he's hard. He's easy. If you get a parry, you're guaranteed a number of things. If you go for the choke, you do half their stamina bar. All of his heavy finishers are unblockable. You do his Shifu stance to dodge things. He's got a good zone, got good lights, got good dodge. I mean, he's similar to Tiandi, except this man has a hell of a parry punish compared to Tiandi. Shaolin, I'll leave in hard for the sole fact he has a lot to learn, and you have to implement everything really, really well. Like the crush encounters, you have to go into stance and then use it properly. He is a top-tier character, but I see way too many Shaolins not have any fucking clue as to what they're doing, and they lose, and they're like, I'm playing the best character, why can't I win? And he's not the best character, but he's a very strong character. But people tend to just use his go into stance, top unblockable, am I going to let it fly, or am I going to go for a guard break? And, there's more to the character than that. Obviously, people don't use more than that. But I'll leave him in hard for the fact that he has a lot to learn compared to most of the cast, and to implement it properly requires you doing good reads and getting into the opponent's head. So that's what I'll just leave it on. I could say, Shinobi could be in hard. I don't think he's a lost cause, like he's the only one that's very hard. I feel like he's around Aramusha. They both have trouble right now. Aramusha gets stuck right in front of you because of how slow he is, but Shinobi, has that range. But anyways, guys, let me know what you guys think. Is there anyone that you would move around? Like I said, if it were up to me personally and how I feel about the game after all of my time played and playing with all my friends since the beta and day one, if I had to make a list, this is what I feel like most people would, relatively agree with. And this is kind of my opinion of where they should land. Now, if we're talking, if I were to get on and play right now, where I would put all these in terms of my own feelings, like if I had to rate them as how I would play, this is what it would look like if I were to get on right now. But this is supposed to be more of a general thing for everyone. But this is how I feel if I get on right now, where I would put people. Now let's put her there and there. There we go. So this is my personal, what I would say. I find all these characters, I can just pick them and play them regardless of how long it's been. Same goes for all of these. There are a couple things I forget when it comes to Shaolin. But these characters I can occasionally have, a bad match with. Like, if someone's very good at defending, Lawbringer doesn't have any starting offense. So that can be an issue. Valkyrie, I would put in easy, but I just haven't played her in like a year. No, I guess it hasn't been I played her for an hour or something in the past year, and I found her very easy to use. But I need to play her a little bit more to figure out better options than what I was doing. I was still winning, but I feel like I could have done better. Zanhu can be annoying if your opponent guesses right every time. PK is very aggressive, very strong right now. I find her easy to use. The only thing I don't like are her dodge attacks being so weak. Nusha I find easier than Zanhu. I mean, you guys probably know she's very strong. She's good. I like her. She's good. I don't like the character, but I like how easy she is if I ever want to play her. The only reason these guys are down here is Shinobi doesn't have any viable offense other than the light attack. Dodging in for a kick, if they dodge it, you're fucked. He has no armor anymore. His dodge kick can be interrupted. His long-range game will knock you down. If you didn't know, Shinobi, if you both go for... so let's say a Shinobi goes for a faked kick, and then he goes for the guard break throw, right? If you're also in stance and you go for the guard break throw, if you do it after he did it, you'll actually grab him, and he can't do anything about it. Or if you both go for it at the same time, whoever clicks to counter it first, me and my friend found this out when we were playing, You can just knock them to the ground even though you both did the same thing, and you would assume it would bounce off like a normal guard break, but no, it doesn't. Aramusha I find the hardest to use. I'm not good with them. I don't know what I'm doing with them, and it feels like everyone blows me up, so I just put him in medium. I can still get wins, but I find him the hardest to use, in my opinion. Personally, if I had to choose the easiest character, in my opinion, to use, Shigoki, I feel like he's just so easy. He's so easy. No one knows what to do against him. Kensei, probably my second favorite. Super easy again. Griffin, super easy. And then I got, you know, all these people can just be paired into one. But let me know what you guys think down below. Would your tier list look any different than this? Or give me your, you know, top 5 easiest, who you think is the easiest if you disagree. And then give me your hardest. What's your least favorite or hardest to play character? Otherwise, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching, and let me know what you guys think down below.